Hey guys, I'm Weston and my favourite phone of all time is this guy right here, the Nokia 6280. Now there's a couple of reasons why I like this phone, but one why I really loved it. And the reasons why I really like this phone are as follows. So I really loved that this had cameras back then. Now back then cameras weren't overly popular on phones because, well, they weren't very good. This shot very potato like quality photos, and it had a selfie cam as well, which is pretty rare back then. But yeah, the cameras weren't fantastic, but it was a good addition at the time. The next thing I really loved is the illuminated keyboard. Again, not a really big deal now because everything's touchscreen, but back then it was so cool to have a keyboard that lit up, and it just made it great for using it at night as well. But the main reason why I loved this phone is one feature: being able to slide it up to answer it. Yes, I know that's very childish, but back then I was actually a child and it was really cool to be able to just do that and answer your phone. Now people would look at you a little bit gone out if you were using one of these phones and you answered it like that, but back then everyone had them and they were just the in thing to have. So yeah, I mean, the phone wasn't fantastic, the cameras, like I said, sucked, battery was terrible, it broke a lot. They were really slow, really limited functionality, but just that one little feature just made it so cool and so memorable for me that I actually bought myself another one because my original one broke a long time ago. But this, it's such a great phone, even though it wasn't that great. So yeah, this is my favourite phone of all time. Thanks for watching, guys.
What's my favorite phone of all time? It definitely has to be my OnePlus One. It came out to about $364. It came unlocked, and I was able to put it on an AT&T or T-Mobile line. And one really cool thing about it was its Android customization. It actually came on board with non-stock Android and came with CyanogenMod, I believe 11.3. I'm not too sure about that one. But with that, it also allowed me on my T-Mobile line that I was getting unlimited data but not unlimited hotspot to get unlimited hotspot some reason. I don't know how, but I just enjoyed it till the time I had it. With that, the OnePlus One was an amazing device. Killer camera, whatever you could ask for at the fraction of the price of other flagships. And I think this also led onto something of the market of the phone industry. It brought down prices in other mobile devices that weren't available before. I'm really glad that OnePlus did this. I believe it changed the market for good.
My name is Max, and today is going to be a collaboration with all of these awesome guys. Their links to this kind of video is down in the description below, and it's going to be, what is your favorite phone? Now, my favorite phone for this list is the iPhone 5S. I think the iPhone 5S is one of the most innovative phones for its time. So 2013, 2012, I think it was when it was released, somewhere around there. And it had, it had the traditional Apple design. It was sort of a redesign of the 5 with the slightly changed color scheme, but I think Touch ID is one of the biggest things that got it for me, because having a fingerprint scanner in a phone is just blew me away, and it blew everyone else away. It was completely unheard of. And if you were from 2000 and you thought a phone could have a fingerprint scanner in it, you would have been like, no, that's just not possible. So iPhone 5S, one of my favorite phones. In fact, my favorite phone of all time. It was also one of my first phones, so it was my third one, although the first two didn't really count. So my first one was a Nokia brick, just whatever. And then my second phone was a HTC 8S, this bad boy. That was alright, but it was a Windows phone, lacked apps, and I just couldn't deal with that. So all the other guys in the collab are a lot older than me, so their first phones are really, really old. So, but my one isn't that bad. But the iPhone 5S is certainly my most favourite phone because it served me well for 2 years. The one phone didn't break it at all, held up really, really well. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
So what is up, guys? Ben here from BTech HD. My favorite phone of all time is going to be the first iPhone. Now, the reason why I picked this device, it's not because I'm an Apple fanboy or something like that, but I believe the first gen iPhone that first came out for Apple was like a stepping stone for Apple. It really set like a benchmark for Apple and all its devices that are going to come. Now, by just looking at the first iPhone, you'll notice that many of its elements that we see right now are actually passed on, and you can see them in the iPhone 6, and we'll probably see them in the iPhone 7 as well. Now, the most obvious thing is going to be the Apple logo. It has not changed at all. It's exactly the same. It does look good. There's other elements that haven't changed, like the camera positions, and also the volume rockers. They feel exactly the same. Yes, they look a little different, but everything is basically in the same area, and not much has changed with the iPhone itself. Now, this iPhone that I've had is cracked, yes, and it does not even want to turn on, but at the end of the day, you can admire how good it actually looks. It's a really nice looking phone, even though it's just 8 gigabytes and does lag like crazy and doesn't even want to turn on. But overall, you can look at it design-wise, it does fit well in the palm, which is also a plus. But why I picked this phone as my favorite phone was only because, in my opinion, this was the best Apple phone, because this is exactly what we see even now. Yes, the software is upgraded, but at the end of the day, this is exactly the same phone.
What's good, people? It's your boy Fresh, and one of my all-time favorite phones was the HTC Thunderbolt. So this was Verizon's first 4G LTE phone, and also one of the beautiful things about it, of course, was this HTC Sense user interface. So now later in the years, HTC Sense got a kind of bad rep, being that it was kind of big and bloaty, but in the beginning, those 3D graphics were pretty cool. The transition effects were really nice. It was one of the first phones to actually feature a kickstand, and then also for its era, it had a pretty large screen at 4.3 inches. So this phone went ahead and made its way into my I'd say top 5 best phones of all time. The bad, of course, was the battery life. Over time, the battery did not withstand, it didn't age well. It aged like milk and not like wine. So the battery life is definitely poo on it, but overall the other features outweigh it dramatically. My final verdict on it, it's overall very innovative. It came out with the kickstand, one of the first phones to do that, and of course it came out with 4G LTE, so that was the first Verizon 4G LTE phone out there. But hopefully you guys like my pick. Go ahead and check out the next one.
Hey everyone, it's Ewan, and today I'm doing a collab with Western from Western Reviews and other YouTubers talking about our favorite phone of all time. Now for me, my favorite phone of all time is this. This is the Sony Ericsson P910. This came out in 2004 in the third quarter, and I must say it was a great device of its time. It had 62 megabytes of RAM. It used memory card. It had a jog dial, stylus, and a keypad to the front. Mine was damaged and it ended up being misplaced. There was a 2.6 inch display, or 2.9 inch display I believe it was, and a 1260 milliamp hour battery, which I must say up to this day it still has power. Yes, and I have not charged it in more than 3 years. To be honest, this was running Symbian OS, and it was one of the first smart device that I ever had, which made it the first and the best for me. Alright, so I want to thank Western for having me on this collab. I really do appreciate it. If you all have never seen his work, go check it out. I'll leave a link to his video in the description down below, and to all the other YouTubers, I'll leave a link in the description also so that you can check them out. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day.